Have you ever had that moment where you open the fridge and there's just not much there? So you start doing mental math like, okay, if I skip breakfast, I can stretch dinner for the kids. And even if you're not actually hungry, the anxiety hits first. This quiet fear of not knowing where the next meal is coming from is one of the most stressful things a person can experience, especially if you have families and children. And right now, with the government shutdown and the uncertainty around EBT and food snap benefits, that fear is getting very real for millions of families, and so many people are making light of it. But it's just not funny. So today, I want to take a few minutes to talk about the psychological effects of food insecurity and what it really does to our minds and bodies, and how we can care for ourselves and our loved ones in the middle of all this uncertainty. Hey, I'm Cole, a licensed therapist and counselor, and I create content to help you understand your emotions, protect your peace, and build a life that actually feels good. This topic hits home for so many of us, so let's dive into it. When we talk about food insecurity, people often think it just means hunger, but it's deeper than that. It's not just not having food, it's the constant worry about running out of food. It's skipping meals so your kids can eat. It's eating cheaper, less nutritious food because that's all you can afford. And the constant uncertainty, that quiet everyday stress, it starts to mess with you. Studies show food insecurity increases symptoms of anxiety, depression, and chronic stress because your body is literally in survival mode. You start to feel unsafe even in your own home. And what's wild is even when there is food, the fear doesn't go away right away. It lingers. It teaches your brain that the world isn't safe, that things can fall apart at any time. And that's trauma, economic trauma. And it's very, very real. I see it every day at work when I'm in a school. I see kids, hoarding food, taking more food than they actually need because they don't know where their next meal is coming from. So it is something that is very real. Now, with the government shutdown, a lot of people who rely on EBT and SNAP benefits are scared, and rightfully so. In some states, officials are warning that benefits might be delayed or even paused if the shutdown keeps going. For families living paycheck to paycheck, there's no cushion and no time to wait and see. Imagine being a parent right now. You've already budgeted every dollar, every meal, and then you hear that your food benefits might not load next month. That level of uncertainty, it hits hard. It's not just financial stress, it's emotional and psychological too. Parents start feeling guilt, shame, and fear, and kids pick up on it too. They may not understand what's happening, but they feel the tension at home. And that's how a policy issue becomes a mental health crisis. Let's talk about what actually happens inside us. When we don't feel secure, when we don't know if we can feed ourselves or our families, our brain goes into fight, flight, or freeze. That's the same system that activates during danger or trauma. You might notice trouble sleeping, feeling irritated or on edge, difficulty concentrating, feeling hopeless or ashamed. For parents, that can look like snapping more easily, losing patience, or withdrawing emotionally from kids. For kids, it might show up as behavior problems, acting out, or pretending they're not hungry because they don't want to make things worse. And then there's a physical side too. The body keeps the score. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which impacts your immune system, sleep, and mood. So this just isn't feeling stress, it's your whole system responding to survival mode. So here's the part we don't talk about enough, the shame. Food insecurity might make people feel like they failed, even when it's not their fault, especially in a country that tells us just work harder, as if inflation, housing, or decisions don't exist. I've sat with parents who cried because they had to water down milk or skip meals. And I've talked to teens who quietly hoard snacks from school, like I mentioned earlier, because they don't know what'll be for dinner. This kind of stress changes how people see themselves. They stop asking for help because they feel embarrassed, and that isolation makes depression worse. We have to start talking about food insecurity as a mental health issue, not just the economic one. So let's talk about coping and what can we actually do. First, acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel angry, scared, or ashamed. Those feelings make sense. You're responding to instability that you didn't create. Second, reach out for support. If you're affected by the shutdown or benefit delays, you're not alone. Many schools, churches, and community centers are stepping up with emergency food programs. If you're in Illinois, Check out the description box for some more resources. Third, don't carry this alone emotionally. Talk to someone, a counselor, a pastor, a friend who won't judge you. And if you're a parent, be honest with your kids in age appropriate ways. Let them know we're figuring things out. It's not your fault. Fourth, take small steps to regulate your body's stress response. Deep breathing, grounding techniques, short walks, prayer, journaling, whatever helps your nervous system calm down. Because when you're in survival mode, every tiny moment of calm can make a difference. To all my fellow counselors, teachers, social workers, and other educators watching this, we have to pay attention. That student who's falling asleep in class might not be lazy, they might just be hungry. That parent who missed a meeting might be juggling a crisis they didn't cause. When we ask what's wrong, we might miss the bigger story. So let's start asking what's happening around you. We can help by being aware, reducing stigma, and connecting families to resources, and most importantly, by showing compassion and not judgment. Food insecurity is more than an empty fridge. It's a heavy emotional weight. And with this government shutdown and all the uncertainty around benefits, it's understandable that people are scared right now. If anything in this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, comment, and let's build community. But please hear me. You are not alone, and this is not your fault. This is a system failure, not a personal one. And while we can't control policy decisions, we can take care of our minds, our bodies, and each other. So, like I said, make sure that you share this message with someone that you might know that's quietly going through this right now. Let them know that, hey, it's real for everybody. And if you want more conversations like this on everyday struggles connected to our emotional health, make sure that, like I said, you join the community. Remember, you deserve stability. You deserve care, and you deserve to feel safe, not just fed, but full, emotionally and physically. And as always, keep showing up for yourself, because that's how real change happens. Peace.